Happy New Year, everybody. It's Anne, and I am back with a new year and a new season of Nursing Uncharted. I'm so excited to do this episode because I just want to really set the tone for ourselves for the new year, but also set the tone of what this podcast is going to look like over this next exciting year. So, reflecting back on 2024, I have shared in many of my episodes that I've been dealing with a lot of personal things while balancing work. And I wasn't quite ready to dive deep into that just yet. As you're going through the things, you're not really ready to expose that to everyone out there. But this year, I think it's going to all come out, and I'm going to do it with peers, nurses just like me, and we're going to go through this together. And that is what I am most excited about for the upcoming episodes. So just be ready, be excited, and just be ready for that complete reset for yourselves and for our careers and for this podcast. Something that has stuck with me, this was a conversation I actually had with my producer of this podcast. And, she asked me, what's your New Year's resolution? And we kind of we dug a little bit deeper into that conversation about like New Year's resolutions and what do those look like. And a lot of times they can be a little unachievable or a little more of a burden than something to look forward to. And what she told me is that she picks a word, just a simple word, and has that word with her throughout the year. And everything that happens that year, every struggle, every happiness, everything that happens, you focus on what that word is and you apply that to every situation that you're going through. And I think that for me specifically, but I've also shared that with a couple other people in my life. And it's kind of exciting because you're not saying, okay, I'm going to lose 15 pounds by spring. You're just picking a simple thing, an achievable thing to just live by this one word in every aspect of your life over the next 12 months. So the word that she used last year, I'm actually going to use for my word this year because I think it really fits with what I'm looking forward to in the next few months. And that word is embrace. So, an embrace can be positive or negative, but I'm ready to embrace what this new year has in store for me, for my personal life, for my career, and for this podcast. So I think it would be fun if everyone just kind of goes by that, picks a word, and just, sets their own tone for your personal life throughout this next year. And that now takes me into setting the tone for what Nursing Uncharted is going to be. We've been talking. When I say we, my team and I have been talking about, what does this podcast really mean to me? What do I want this to bring to the listeners, you guys? What do you want to hear? And it's nice to explore, the types of nursing out there and what each specialty can look like. But I want to get a little bit deeper into what it's like living as a nurse. So the foundation of this podcast is to dig deep. It's the raw aspects of nursing. And nursing isn't just your 12-hour shift at the bedside. Nursing is what we live. Nursing is our lives outside of the hospital. Nursing is our relationships with one another, and how we deal with just our everyday lives while still having to show up for people at work. So I want to kind of take this and explore that a little bit more. We don't always like to talk about things that are difficult, and I want this to be a safe space for myself because I need it more than ever. This podcast has helped me get through a lot of the struggles that I've gone through over the last year. And I'm looking to pay that forward to someone, to multiple people, and even just kind of pay that forward to myself in the upcoming months as I navigate who knows what hasn't like the future has in store for me. So I don't want us to be afraid. I want you to feel that this is a safe space to talk, and I'm really looking forward to that. So when we dive down deep, I'll give you a little sneak peek as to, some really exciting episode ideas that I have. The big one, like I said just a couple seconds ago, is, mental health. really diving deep into what mental health is in nursing, but also in our personal lives. So that can be the emotions and the traumas that we experience on the job and how we have to bounce back almost immediately and take care of the next patient. We don't have much time to deal with that. So really, diving into that and coming up maybe with some strategies on how to cope with that for people who are kind of stuck. A big one that came to mind were, working night shift or people that rotate, but how night shift can really lead to some, nighttime blues and how to deal with emotional regulation while working a night shift. Speaking to some night shift nurses out there, navigating relationships, either, your relationships with your colleagues, but mainly your relationships outside of work, your friendships, your romantic relationships, your relationships with your family, how all of that is affected by our career and how to navigate through those difficult times and how maybe being a friend that's a nurse to someone who's not a nurse, what that looks like and how it can be different than someone not in healthcare. And then we're all, kind of on the tail end of the burnout that we're feeling after the pandemic and just, how do we heal? How do we handle the burnouts of nursing? So I'm excited to really dig into that. And I've thankfully found some really amazing people that are willing to be vulnerable and have those conversations. So I look forward to that and, just really hopefully helping someone out there dealing with that maybe is afraid to say something. So that's my number one topic this year. The next one that I think could be really cool to explore is the nutrition on the job. How do we eat? How do we eat as nurses? We joke about, oh, I didn't get a lunch today, or, man, everyone always brings sweets, and we get cookies and cakes and the holidays especially. So maybe even bringing on a nutritionist to kind of tell us how do we still maintain healthy lifestyle while working 12 hours, 16 hours a day, whatever that shift looks like. And then the difference between eating on day shift and night shift. You talk to a lot of night shift nurses, they don't like to eat a big hearty meal. So how can we maintain good nutrition, a good overall healthy lifestyle while being a nurse? And the third topic is travel nursing. Of course, that's what, our foundation is, but looking a little bit deeper into what travel nursing is and maybe exploring some traveling couples, traveling friends. But, I met this couple that they're married and they're in the same specialty and they're traveling and they work the same job. And I'm so intrigued to pick their brains on how they make that work and how, that works for their life. So I think that would be I'm looking forward to that topic and looking into more of recruitment, understanding what recruitment is, talking to recruiters and educating as nurses ourselves on what that recruitment side looks like. And then also talking about nurse recruiter relationships and having, shed some light on the positivity of those relationships and how that can really help you through your travel journey. These are my top three. I guess that's a trend for me as I pick three things and I want to share that with you. So, setting the tone for the new year, heading into the new year, those are my top three topics that I'm very excited to explore with you guys. And another thing, I'm really going to challenge listeners out there. I want you to think about what's weighing heavy on your hearts. What is really on the top of your mind? What is something that either is really exciting to you or, has been difficult over, however long of time, in nursing? And like, are you struggling handling that? Are you excited to share a new way that you've gotten through something and you want to share that with other nurses out there, other listeners out there? So I challenge you, my New Year's challenge for all my listeners out there is to dig deep and reach out to me and let me know what you want to hear. What would help you from this let me help you, right? this podcast has helped me, so let me help you in return. Let me pay that forward and tell me what you want to hear. What what is important to you? What is hard for you? And you can come on. We can talk about it. If you don't feel comfortable, we can talk about it, or I can find someone else that is also feeling that same way you are, and we can talk about that together. But you can find me. You can reach out to me directly. I'm going to share my personal Instagram with you. Send me a message. Even if you don't really want to come on here and talk about it, we can talk about it together, maybe come up with an idea together. And, just kind of let's use this year, let's set the tone to help each other and support one another in this upcoming year, because I know I need it. So send me a message on Instagram at Annifer05. That has been my screen name since AOL had a screen name since like 5th grade. Someone gave me that nickname. So it's at ANNIFER05, and send me a message. We can chat and hopefully come up with having you as a guest on this podcast. But I hope you guys celebrate the new year. I'm excited to do this with you, and I am just, when I tell you letting go of 2024 is the best thing that can happen, it is. So let's make it the best, and don't forget to pick your word of the year. Thank you for tuning in to Nursing Uncharted. You can learn more about this episode and our show on our website at amnhealthcare.com. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. You can also find show updates and nursing opportunities on our Instagram at AMN Nurse. Special thanks to AMN Healthcare for making this show possible.